Welcome, everyone, to your quick and direct source for MMA news. Held this Thursday 6th in Australia, the UFC 312 press conference was chaotic, largely due to Dricus du Plessis and Strickland. At the event, the South African middleweight champion, 185 pounds, and the bad boy got into a heated argument and had an intense face-off, further escalating their rivalry. This confrontation gave a strong indication that the rematch set for this Saturday, the 8th, will be unmissable. During the pre-UFC 312 press conference, du Plessis exuded confidence in securing another victory over the American and promised to go for the knockout from start to finish. The middleweight champion acknowledged Strickland as an elite athlete and described the fight as perfect due to both fighters' aggressive styles. Meanwhile, Strickland, who controversially lost to the South African by split decision in January 2024, disputed the result and vowed revenge, promising fans an all-out war. Fired up, the former champion taunted his rival, sparking the exchange. "Dricus, I respect you for this because you fight like a maniac, but I won that fight, and I'm going to win this one. This guy fights like a retard on a bus," the American declared. Du Plessis didn't let it slide. Known for his sharp trash talk, the UFC champion left his rival stunned and laughing with his blunt response. "Yes, I fight like someone on the bus, but you look like the driver, at least until you got fired because you can't be around kids with that look." Staph infection? Before the press conference began, Dricus took to social media to suggest that Strickland had contracted a staph infection. In his post, the middleweight champion shared a side-by-side comparison of Strickland from their first fight and the rematch, highlighting what appeared to be a boil on his left arm. Later in the press conference, the American denied the accusation and assured that he was 100% healthy for the fight. "Listen up, you motherfuckers. I'm immune to staph. You see this shitty mustache? I give staph. I don't get staph. Calm the fuck down. I don't get sick. I don't get hurt. And I don't catch staph. So relax. I'll be there, going all in. Full force. Till fucking death, Dutchman," the former champion concluded. As expected, the top middleweights and fierce rivals had an intense face-off. Du Plessis took a serious stance with his guard up. On the other hand, Strickland, who usually enjoys these moments, made sure to stare into the South African's eyes before ending it with a smirk. Ex-UFC fighter suffers heavy knockdown in training, complains about leaked video. Former UFC fighter Kevin Lee is looking to bounce back in MMA, now competing in the GFL, a new organization in the sport. During the organization's draft in January, the veteran was one of the athletes selected to join the New York team. However, before making his debut, the American found himself in the middle of a controversy. Recently, the Motown phenom went viral on social media after suffering a brutal knockdown in training. The sparring session with an unknown training partner took place at Kill Cliff FC gym. In footage shared by Cannon Rich on X, the ex-UFC fighter, out of range, attempted a rarely executed flying knee without protecting his face. Still midair, the veteran was caught by a powerful right overhand from his opponent. The impact was so strong that Kevin immediately collapsed, struggling to get back up and requiring help from former UFC welterweight champion, 170 pounds, and current coach Robbie Lawler. Fighter speaks out upon learning that the footage was circulating online. Lee was visibly upset. The American not only condemned the leak, but also announced that he would change his approach, meaning he would now start exposing his sparring sessions, especially when he performs well and rocks his training partners. "I don't know who posted that video or why, but I'm on it right now to find out. I can only blame myself for showing mercy and pulling back my knee. But it's training, so I thought I shouldn't go all out. Clearly, I shouldn't have been playing around with a guy like that. Since these motherfuckers want to start showing sparring, I'm going to start showing sparring from now on," the veteran fired back. Dana White praises Cristiano Ronaldo. After UFC Saudi Arabia encounter, one of the greatest stars of all time held last Saturday first. UFC Saudi Arabia featured a more than special guest. A combat sports fan, Cristiano Ronaldo, attended the event at the A&B Arena, watching from a VIP seat. Captured by the official broadcast talking with the soccer superstar, Dana White showered him with praise. When asked by a journalist about where the Portuguese player would rank among the greatest athletes in history, the UFC president dodged the question, but made sure to acknowledge Ronaldo's immense media influence. Impressed by Cristiano, Dana expressed even more admiration for him, highlighting that despite his dominance, achievements, and worldwide fame, he has remained humble and grounded. It's worth noting that CR7's presence at UFC Saudi Arabia was no surprise. Cristiano currently resides in the country as a player for Al Nassr, one of the top clubs in the Saudi Pro League. He has even been seen at a PFL event, supporting his friend Francis Ngannou. "I'm not a big soccer fan, but when it comes to superstars, he is one of the greatest of all time. What I like about him is that, despite being incredibly popular, successful, and wealthy, he's a really nice, humble guy. I like him. He's a great guy, the UFC boss said in the post-event press conference. MMA fan. As a fight enthusiast, Cristiano Ronaldo is friends with several MMA icons. Besides his friendship with Ngannou, the soccer legend also has good relationships with Conor McGregor, Khabib Nurmagomedov, and others. However, the Portuguese star's support wasn't enough for Sharabutin Magomedov at UFC Saudi Arabia. In the event, the Russian fighter lost both the match and his undefeated record to Michael Page. Topuria promises to submit Volkanovski in potential rematch. After knocking him out in October in Abu Dhabi, UAE, Ilia Topuria put on another dominant performance in the UFC. The featherweight champion, 145 pounds, successfully defended his title for the first time by knocking out Max Holloway in the third round, maintaining his unbeaten record in MMA. Now, the Georgian fighter awaits the organization's decision on his next opponent. If it's Alexander Volkanovski, El Matador is predicting a different ending for the rematch. In February 2024, Topuria shocked the MMA world by brutally ending the Australian's reign. On that occasion, the Georgian knocked out the veteran in the second round. Now, as the division's top fighter, he might face the great once again. Confident as ever, El Matador assured that he would secure another win over Volkanovski. Ilia revealed that his goal against the rival would be to submit him, since he had already knocked him out. By doing so, the Georgian would establish his dominance and reinforce his superiority over the rest of the featherweights. However, the rematch is not yet confirmed. In fact, Topuria stated that his preference is for a champion versus champion super fight against Islam Makhachev at lightweight, 155 pounds. That's it, folks. Enjoyed it? Then leave a like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss anything from the MMA world. See you in the next video where the adrenaline keeps flowing.